Hey guys, what is happening? So in this video, we're going to be talking about moving to the United States. It's an incredibly popular topic and a lot of people want to know the easiest ways to get to the United States. So I'm going to try and explain a couple of them in this video. So without further ado, let's do this. So before we get started guys, please hit that like button. It greatly helps get videos out there so more people can see this, and we need more people to see this. Please subscribe to the channel if you're interested in videos like this, and if you're interested in the truth about living in countries like Canada. You know, it's really my pleasure to help anybody that I possibly can to leave Canada, to leave these countries that have had such draconian measures, these countries that have become very, very expensive to live, almost impossible to live in due to the asset bubbles. And a lot of people are looking for the door for the reasons of freedom or cost of living or whatever it is. So the thing is, in the United States, it is a fairly robust immigration system in the sense that you have different options if you have a Canadian citizenship. So if you have a citizenship, that means you have a few options. You can basically emigrate through a NAFTA visa, which just means you literally have to find a job and it has to be within a certain category. And I'll leave some links in the description that will help you all out. But the thing is, that visa is very easy to get if you're a citizen of Canada. A lot of people are kind of put off because they think, well, that visa, you can't get a green card. And that is true, but I've actually read a lot about it online, and you can get a green card. You can literally come back into Canada and then you can apply for the green card and then go back. You just have to have been there a certain amount of years. I can't remember the total amount off the top of my head. But the thing is, guys, that's a great option for Canadian citizens. It's a really easy way where the person who's employing you is not going to have like a labor impact assessment or anything like that. Another great option is the L1, L2 visa. So this visa is available internationally to anybody, and it's basically for employees of US employers or international employers. So for example, if you work for a company in the United States and you might work in the UK or you might work in Canada. Canada has tons of US companies here. So let's say you work for GE. Well, you can transfer, apply for another job and transfer into the United States. Now, this visa has a lot of benefits. I would say it's better if you can get this visa than the NAFTA visa, which I forget. I think it's the B. I can't remember all the names for the visas, but obviously NAFTA is dead now and it's the USMCA. But it's basically the NAFTA visa that I'm talking about. It might be the TN visa that I'm talking about. But anyway, the L1, L2 visa is perfect for people who are doing intercompany transfers. So if you work for a US company, you apply for a job in the US within your company, then you can get them to sponsor you with an L1, L2 visa. Now, the great thing about this is the employer does all the work for you, so you don't really have to do a lot. Now, one thing I will say is different employers have different policies about doing this. Obviously there's a cost to it, but if you're low down the hierarchy in a business, you're less likely to be approved for that just because of the cost to the business. Now, the thing is, that is a good option though, because of the option to get a green card. It's easier to get a green card with that visa. So it's definitely one to take into account and bear in mind. Now, one thing that I want to talk about, and not a lot of people talk about it, and especially anybody moving to the United States needs to know about this, is essentially the healthcare system. The healthcare system in the United States is not like it is in Canada. It's not like it is in most places in the world, to be honest. So basically it's a private healthcare system. So usually employers provide you with healthcare. Now, depending on that employer, depends on how good that healthcare is, but you really need to double check and make sure you're getting a plan that has 0 co-payments, and these are very expensive in the United States. For example, for me and my girlfriend, a plan like that was going to cost us $750 a month. Yeah, $750 a month. However, through our employer, we could literally pay $450 a month. So the thing is, obviously it's still a massive cost, but there is benefits to that. The healthcare system in the United States is actually very good. Now, it varies state to state. Depending on where you go, it might be worse or better. So take that with a grain of salt. It's very hard to just say a blanket statement about the whole United States. But there are good places for healthcare. Access to treatment and services is very, very good if you have insurance. Now, the thing that people have to bear in mind is you just have to realize if you're moving there, if you become unemployed, it can become very difficult if you get sick and happen to fall ill. And I kind of think that if you're an older type person, then maybe that's a bad thing and you should consider your options. Or if you have pre-existing health conditions or anything like that, you should really consider all your options. However, if you're young and fit and healthy, then you've really got nothing to worry about in a lot of sense. And providing that you have the health insurance to cover yourself, the United States can be a great place. Now, the other great thing about the United States is the money. It's the salaries. The salaries are significantly higher in the United States compared to Canada. And when you look at the salaries and then you look at the cost of living, it just makes Canada look laughable. So when you take into account the cost of living, what you're paid, and the healthcare costs, it's still way, way cheaper than a place like this, which is in Canada. So you're probably asking now, Luke, why aren't you moving to the United States? And you know, we haven't crossed it off completely, but really, we just don't want to move to another place that is fairly expensive. Like, we want to move to a place like Mexico, Costa Rica, Panama, where we can grow all our food, where it's significantly cheaper, and we can kind of live just a cheaper lifestyle where we don't have to pay so many taxes. I mean, even in the United States, there is tons of taxes that you're going to have to pay, and there just isn't that many taxes in places like Costa Rica and Panama, and in Mexico, the taxes are relatively low as well. So that is a benefit of being in a place like Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, and there's loads of places. There's really loads of places that you can move, Belize, Thailand, you know, people go all over. Digital nomads is what it's called. If you're a digital nomad, you're a person who's working remotely and you're living your best life by living in one of these better countries that treats you better. And the thing is, I'd really take that into account, because if you're considering moving to the United States, why not consider Mexico? Why not consider Costa Rica, Panama, Belize, Aruba, all these different places? They have great options, and I've left the link to a website in the description below. It's a really handy website that kind of summarizes the different options that you have. And you know, I'm going to do my best to help anyone I can help get out of these places that are incredibly expensive. So if you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It greatly helps get this video out there. Please subscribe to the channel if you're interested in videos like this, as I continue to bring you the truth. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.